He's a fucking criminal. He's a convicted criminal that didn't pay back the people he ripped off. And he's a fucking rat. On top of being a criminal, he's a rat. So he's a criminal, ripped off a bunch of people, admits that he ripped off a bunch of people, never paid the people back, and ratted out his boys. He operates out of a little apartment with 6 interns, hawking a $495 product.
You went on his show.
Yeah, I did.
Why?
And it was probably a bad idea, but you know, I'm like, let me just go in there and challenge him to a cage match. Dude, look, if there wasn't a movie about that, about his life story, we wouldn't know who the dude is. Like, what else is there? Is that your claim to fame? He keeps asking me a question about how to sell a pen, and I'm like, dude, I'm over that story. Well, minus 100 million. Yeah, you gonna take advice from a guy that's negative 100 million? Would you, sir?
What's up, guys? Steve here from the Ram Real Estate Investing channel, the channel where we talk about how to make money in real estate investing. And I had something totally different planned out for today's video. However, we're going to be talking about something that's taking place right now. You see, one of my videos just started blowing up. It's the Grant Cardone Jordan Belfort interview, and it's been getting hundreds and now thousands of views in the past couple days, and I just found out why. You see, a couple days ago, Grant Cardone did a follow-up interview, and in that interview, he talked about the video between him and Jordan Belfort. And in this interview, he does not hold back. Now, if you haven't seen the video that I originally posted on it, I'll put a link to it right up here. I think it's about 15-20 minutes long. The actual interview that took place between Grant and Jordan was like 2 hours long. So I just pulled out the highlights, the moments that I thought were the most entertaining and the most intense for everyone to enjoy. Now, this was an epic interview between the two, and I must say that anybody who sees this and doesn't know the background behind these two might be a little confused as to what's going on, but Grant Cardone does not like Jordan Belfort, and at no point at all did he show up for this interview to provide sales information or training or anything like that. He came on this interview specifically to pick a fight with Jordan Belfort. You see, a very important thing to Grant is ethical sales and making sure that you are providing value to your customers. Jordan Belfort's Wolf on Wall Street, in Grant's eyes, embodies everything that Grant stands against. Cheating customers.
Was all this legal? Absolutely not.
Glorifying drugs. Stealing from people.
Nobody knows if the stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in circles. You know what a fugazi is?
Oh, fugazi. It's a fake.
Yeah, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust.
All of the things that are in the Wolf on Wall Street, Grant stands against. He takes a strong stance against that. So when he showed up on this interview, he had no intention of playing nice. Even look at his shirt. His shirt says, "I apologize in advance." That's why there were so many times where Jordan Belfort was asking Grant questions. He was throwing him easy questions, trying to find some sort of grounds that they could agree upon, and Grant would never, ever agree with him at all. He was even coming up with nonsense answers just to not agree with Jordan.
And you get a salesman who wants to speak to everybody. Like, he's going to speak to someone who, let's say, have no money, they have no job, and they want to sell a $10,000 product, and they waste 45 minutes in that call. Would that be smart or not smart?
He shouldn't have started that call with one product. Why?
Because he works at a company that has one product.
That's stupid. Go some other place.
Starbucks break. Oh yeah, before I forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you get a chance, take a look at all my other videos too. I put out videos on how to make money in real estate investing. Now, when I put out the video, I honestly tried to keep a neutral stance. I mean, the only commentary I put in the entire video was these little text comments that I thought were pretty funny, and I just put what I thought they were thinking. But there were so many videos that came out that were bashing Grant in this interview, saying he didn't know what to talk about, that people automatically saw my video and assumed that I was jumping on the Grant bashing bandwagon. And then when people watched it, since my video was the only one that wasn't doing that, I had comments in there from people saying, "You tried so hard to make Grant not look bad." And honestly, I felt like my video was the most neutral out of all of the reviews that I saw. Now, I have a little bit of background in sales. For those of you who don't know me, I have my own businesses and I invest in real estate, so I need sales to have success in what I do. So I have looked into Grant's stuff and I've read a lot of his books. The 10X Rule, Sell to Survive, The Millionaire Booklet, Be Obsessed or Be Average, How to Dominate Your Market. All of these books, I've read them, and in there are a lot of great sales tactics and training. As a matter of fact, the Closer's Survival Guide is literally an itinerary of different ways to progress through the sale and ensure the close and help you to complete your sales with your customers. The funny thing is that I've also read Jordan Belfort's The Way of the Wolf, and in there he has a ton of great information on how to close in your sales as well. And when you have read both sides' books, they actually agree on a lot of tactics. But because of the negative perception that is painted by Jordan Belfort's Wolf on Wall Street and his past that he kind of glorifies in the movie with stealing from people, drug abuse, ripping people off, Grant cannot see him in a light where he can say he is a successful person and feels that he negatively taints sales. Now don't worry, I'm going to be getting to the interview here in just a second, but another thing to note is, for those of you who don't know, Grant Cardone's net worth is roughly somewhere between $300 and $400 million. He's had a lot of success in his businesses, and I believe he holds a real estate investment portfolio of roughly around $1.5 billion, and I think he holds about 6,500 units of real estate. Jordan Belfort, at the peak of his success, it's my understanding, forgive me if I'm wrong, is that he was worth roughly $100 million. However, he built that off of corruption, and now it is said that he owes all those people their money back. So if you look up his net worth, it's negative $100 million. And he's supposed to pay these people back, and he actually has been confronted by the press saying, when are you gonna pay all these people back that you ripped off? And that is still to be determined.
Some of you might know me as the Wolf of Wall Street.
If you believe Jordan Belfort, he's a changed man, and nothing like the character played by Leonardo DiCaprio in the blockbuster movie The Wolf of Wall Street.
Lisa Guerrero with Inside Edition.
In fact, 3 years ago, he boasted that he planned on paying back all his victims that year. He owed about $100 million to more than 1,500 victims.
So how is Jordan Belfort able to live a life of luxury while still owing his victims roughly $100 million?
So, these days, Belfort travels the world making big bucks, lecturing about the secrets of his success. Like at this sold-out event in London, when Belfort allowed questions, Lisa Guerrero stepped up to the mic.
In 2014, you promised that you would pay back all of your victims that year. It's 3 years later, and you still owe your victims $100 million. When are you going to pay your victims back?
His fans were clearly not pleased with our question, and Belfort was in no mood to answer.
But I guess the question here is, do you think that Jordan Belfort is reformed? Can a person change? Or is he still the same and he's just trying to make success off of this movie that he's created about his life? Do you feel that Grant is justified in what he says about Jordan and the way he treated him in the interviews? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Put them in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I'm going to go ahead and share the videos. I'm going to put links to everything down below. And let me know what you think. Do you think that Grant is right and justified in the way that he's spoken about Jordan Belfort? Do you think Jordan Belfort is reformed? Do you think Jordan Belfort is postponing paying back all of the people that he ripped off? Do you think he is glorifying drugs and ripping people off in his movie and that he supports that? Or do you think that he is sorry for what he's done? Let me know. All right, without further ado, here is the video that was recently put out. It's the interview that Grant had talking about his interview with Jordan Belfort.
And I found that you did an interview with Jordan Belfort,
Yeah.
the Wolf of Wall Street. And this turned into the equivalent of like a rap beef with finance guys afterwards. Is that a fair assessment of what happened?
Well, he's not a finance guy.
Well, I mean, a financial guy.
He's not a financial guy. He's a criminal. He's a convicted criminal that didn't pay back the people he ripped off. And he's a rat. On top of being a criminal, he's a rat. Turned on his own people to reduce his time. So he's a criminal, ripped off a bunch of people, admits that he ripped off a bunch of people, never paid the people back, and ratted out his boys.
Yeah, I actually looked up his net worth online.
Yeah, minus 30 million.
Minus 100 million.
Well, minus 100 million. Yeah, you gonna take advice from a guy that's negative 100 million? Would you, sir? Your guy shooting this. Huh?
I mean,
he operates out of a little apartment with 6 interns that he 1099s, hawking a $495 product. That don't sound like a banker to me.
You said in the interview he was talking about the real world, and you said in your real world, everyone's using drugs.
In my real world.
In his real world, everyone's using drugs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you saw that in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole movie was pretty much him being high the whole time.
Dude, look, if there wasn't a movie about that, about his life story, we wouldn't know who the dude is. Like, what else is there? Is that your claim to fame? You know?
Yeah.
I don't want that to be my legacy. Okay, I got 185 employees. I'm trying to go to 1,000.
You went on a show.
Yeah, I did.
Why?
It was set up with my staff in Miami. It was probably a bad idea, but you know, I'm like, let me just go in there and challenge him to a cage match. He keeps asking me a question about how to sell a pen, and I'm like, dude, I'm over that story. Like, you're 50 years old, you got to elevate the game at some point. Ask a new question. How do you buy a pen company? How do you replace a pen? How do you make sure a pen's never sold again on this planet? Elevate the game, son. Otherwise, you're going to die an old salesman with a negative net worth of a minus 100 million.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching to the end. I appreciate it. I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, go through my videos, and I try to post videos on real estate investing and how to make money every Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed this. God bless. This is Steve.